Thank you for tuning in, everybody. You are watching VoidTweakTV. I am so excited to bring you guys a 1,000 subscriber Q&A video here for you guys today. I just want to say, obviously, a big thank you. I mean, this is insane that we hit this way. And for the people that don't know, for the new people here, this subscriber special was made possible due to the infamous YouTube recommended algorithm. Almost a year ago, I posted my first video here on this channel, and in a spark of creative fever, I came back to my channel to get ready to buckle down and post a bunch, only to find a bunch of new faces, a bunch of new people here, and I took it as a sign. I took that as, this is something that people want to see, and I think I could offer a lot in the Pokemon space here on YouTube. So I hit the ground running, and we just hit 1,000 subscribers, so that's so cool. I do believe once you hit 1,000 subscribers, you're actually surpassing, broad ballpark of a figure here. I don't remember the statistic, it's been a long time, but a good 70% of YouTube accounts on YouTube don't have at least 1,000 subscribers. So while it may not seem like a giant milestone to some, it is quite remarkable when you think about it, especially in the way that it occurred with my first video. And I think this is like the 4th video now on this channel, and hopefully many more to come. So obviously a big thank you. Just a couple of basic Q&A stuff here. I did ask the community here if I could get some questions, and you guys were so kind and got me at least 21, which is going to be amazing for a Q&A video. But for basics, my name is VoidTweak. You don't have to call me VoidTweak. I do go as JC as well, which is my actual name. I am 24 years old. I've been playing Pokemon since 2010. I love all things Pokemon. I would love to do a lot of stuff on this channel that may relate to Pokemon cards, Pokemon challenges, Nuzlockes, video essays, the whole works. I'm actually quite leaning on video essays, more so the stuff that I'm used to, but that's just a little bit about me. And yeah, I would love to just jump into the questions here. So I already tried recording this while I was doing something on one of my saves, on one of my DS's, whatever. I even opened up Club Penguin for a brief second. That might even be on screen right now. But it was kind of hard to focus on answering the questions and giving them their due diligence. And I thought to myself, why not just record some footage here? So I don't know what I'm going to put up here. I might put some Battle Tower footage up here. I have no idea. We shall see. But yeah, this is me just talking, answering some questions here, talking with you guys, and I'll put some background footage of me playing Pokemon in some way, shape, or form in the background here. Okay, so we're going to start off with the YouTube post, and we'll go from there. Some of these are more so statements than questions, but we'll start with some of these here. The best one, in my opinion, where do you live? Address specific. Yeah, I got you. I live in one city. And you want to make sure you take a left at the... Honestly, you don't want to go down that ditch. That ditch is good. But yeah, you take those steps and you'll be right at my home. Yeah, thank you for the question. Thank you, Gik. Iz was talking about PKMN. Bro, if you don't know it, excuse me, check it out. I grew up with Gen 1 through 3, and now with 35, I don't know if he means 35 in terms of age, but I started playing Pokemon or PKMN 1 week ago, and I love it. Play through Gen 1 through 5 with a huge community. It's just amazing. Yeah, man, I've heard about it. So me personally, I don't see myself jumping on PKMN. It sounds amazing. It sounds a lot of fun. The reasons being is just because I feel like with creating, with my part-time job right now, with the aspirations and goals I still have for my saves across all my Pokemon titles, there's still so much to do there. And I feel like jumping into an MMO game with so much content such as that, it will just distract me more than anything. I'll get super into it, and then all my creative endeavors, all my productivity kind of will be thrown to the wayside. So that is going to be answered on the hesitant to try, but definitely would want to try down the line. Just my own discipline is kind of holding me back from that. Just want to stay on the right track. But yeah, I've heard of it. It sounds amazing. I'll definitely check it out sometime soon. Thank you. Faye was asking, where can I catch a Mew in Pokemon Soul Silver? So I'm going to check the replies here too. Or Platinum. Should be level 5. Yeah, so that is a DNS exploit Mew. So all you have to do is look up the DNS exploit for Pokemon Generation 4, and you should get it. Some of the IP codes that they give you for the DNS exploit, you'd have to try a couple. I know I did when I was trying it with Pokemon Diamond a couple months ago. It's hit or miss, but most times, if not every single time that you seek that, you will get all the events you need, including that level 5 Mew in Pokemon Soul Silver. You might even get duplicate DNS exploit event mons that did occur for me in my Japanese save file, so yeah, you might even get more than one. But you cannot catch any Mew in Pokemon Soul Silver naturally. It is not a legendary you could catch in the game, as Mew is mythical. But you already knew that. It is DNS exploit, my guy. Thank you for the question. Bathroom Bread, will you stream? At the moment, I want to really focus on videos more so than streaming. I'm definitely open to it in the future. It'd be super cool prepping for videos or actually getting content for video essays or giant videos that we'll do here on the channel. I would stream them. I think that'd be a lot of fun, and starting a whole new Twitch channel would be super cool in 2025. So I would love to do that. I think that would be a great idea. Do I have any recent plans or soon to be streaming plans? No, I do not, but I do intend to once upon a time, one day, I do plan to stream. Yeah. Are you ever planning on moving some of your OG mons to newer 3DS games and create a similar hardcore save there? So Cry, that is a great question. Me personally, I don't see myself doing that. I think Pokemon Generation 3 and 4, as my giant hot take of the video, is the best generation. Generation 5 is amazing, don't get me wrong. It's the Holy Trinity. If you like Gen 3, 4, and 5 and you cast them as the best the series has to offer you, you and I are chums, right? I mean, there's still so much left to do in my Gen 3, 4, and 5 saves, and I feel like, especially when it enters 3D, that's a big no-no for me. I definitely will not be moving up any of my grail pieces, so to speak, up into Generation 6. It just loses so much of its character and charm, non-pixelated in my opinion. I just love the variety of legendary Pokemon and targets you could have in Gen 3 and 4, and I think that those will be my forever homes for those Pokemon. I don't also feel comfortable moving them from their original games too much. In the generation, that's fine, so long as it doesn't mess with its original a place of origin, like its description card. I don't really like to mess with that too much, but yeah, I don't think I'm going to be moving them up to 3DS games at all. A hardcore save there for Mega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire maybe down the line, but just putting that much time into Pokemon right now in Generation 6, like that giant goal, oh, I don't know if I have the time for that, but we'll see. If I do have the time for it, it definitely will be made in a video. Thank you for the question. Isaac asking me, what is your favorite Pokemon and why isn't it Piplup, the best Pokemon? I really loved Piplup as a kid. I actually had a plush of him, and he was my Sinnoh starter too, so I do enjoy myself a Piplup. I gotta say, my favorite Pokemon has to be Lapras. Competitively, it has somewhat of an edge. I love its design, I love its shiny Loch Ness design, Water Horse, the movie design, I love it. I love myself Lapras. In terms of my favorite legendary, it would have to be Giratina. Maybe I'm saying that incorrectly, maybe I'm not. Some of the YouTube comments may be a bit shaky on my pronunciation. My favorite mythical would probably have to be Deoxys. I love me some Deoxys. So there's some favorite Pokemon there, but overall, just a basic favorite has to be Lapras. What are some of the best tips to prep for those low odds shiny hunts? From Isaac again, like getting your Pokemon team ready for Fastball Shiny Ho-Oh. Yeah, so that's a great question, and I would definitely be keen to answer that, but I feel like I'd give it its own specific video. And I think we're going to get to some other questions. I think I have some good news relating to that, Isaac. But in general, just to give you some baseline now, so you don't have to wait for another video. Base answer, it's going to be prep. It's fully mapping out what every turn is going to give you in terms of getting you to that goal. Fraser, I don't recall seeing any Battle Frontier Pokemon or teams. Is that something you've experimented with? Yeah, so the team that I have is actually stuck in my English Pokemon Platinum that is still hunting Darkrai. So that save file has my completed team for all my Generation 4 Battle Tower wins, which I believe is 3 now. Either 2 or 3. I think it's actually 2. That is something I did experiment with. Never in the content realm, but I would love to do that. I think that'd be really fun. I have experimented with that. In Heart Gold, I had a failed Swellow, Bronzong, and Weezing team that unfortunately took me like a good 30 to 40 hours, I want to say, and it completely flopped. So I've definitely experimented with it. I've kind of gotten to the frustrated point where I really do want to RNG minute for some of these IVs that I want, just to make it so much easier, because it does take so long to make these teams, and I want to try something different from the one team that actually got me the win. So I have experimented with it. I have won the Battle Frontier in Generation 4 twice, and it is something I would love to try more in the future, both off-screen and content-wise. Not the Pro. Hey man, what's going on? Love your vids, thank you. Want to ask, when you shiny hunt, how long does it take for you to hit odds? Like how many days? I start shiny hunts and I stop them because they take too long and I'm not the most patient guy. Yeah, so patience is something that, whether having a lot of beforehand or not, when you shiny hunt enough and when you just stick through it enough, you just garner that patience. How long does it take me to hit odds? Usually that is really dependent on the target that I'm going for. Sometimes I have an unhealthy track record with doing that. So like I'd binge watch a show for like 3 days on my off days, right? And just put in that grind, right? So that can be a little bit unhealthy, but sometimes I take my time. Usually, honestly, I'm gonna say like 2 weeks if I'm like consistent on it. I don't know. I don't take too long. Most of the targets that I take up, they are prepped for, they are like scoped out for, they are something I really want. So when I do hit that phase of, all right, time to hunt, it's usually something that goes quite fast. Yeah. Patience will come if you continue to do this hobby, and I wish you the best of luck with your own shiny hunts. Super says, would you ever consider doing shiny hunting videos / series? Like shiny hunting legendaries in Generation 4 or 5 or any gens, or even a shiny badge quest series. Found this channel randomly one night. I couldn't sleep last month. Came across the first video on here and been hooked since. Keep up the great work and making great quality content. Thank you so much. That's so sweet. So individual shiny videos, reactions, I do have a couple backlogged, specifically a Rayquaza and Emerald that took a lot of resets. So I would love to post that. In terms of actual quests with shinies, yes, I'm very much keen on that idea. That would take a lot of time though, and I'm willing to do that. It's something on the back burner for now, as I want to stick more to video essays or already established hunts. But more so discussing and looking through stuff, I think, is what I'm going to be doing for now. Individual shiny hunts, like just reactions to me getting my shiny, I want to kind of steer clear of that. I want a story with my videos. I want prep for the actual video itself. I definitely want them storyboarded. I definitely want them more video essay-esque. And if they're not that, it's going to be a sit down talking with some kind of content I can react to. For shiny hunts, I just don't think it doesn't have as much consistency on YouTube, just because it would take me a month to post if I do one shiny, if I'm taking my time, right? So I definitely want to lean more on the content side of Pokemon more so than the content side of shiny hunts, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'm very much open to a lot of what you're talking about there, shiny badge quest series. Yeah, it could be really, really fun. I'm very much open to it. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Multipower said, what made you want to start this channel? What inspired you to talk about your Pokemon saves? Well, I just thought I really had some cool Pokemon saves. I was really proud of my saves. I still am. I mean, the time and investment that I put into them, I think is remarkable. I think it's something that, well, compared to like other, people in the space, I mean, to some heavy hitters, I mean, like it's nothing, right? I got 3 Safari Zone Blissies in Generation 3, right? Like those kind of people. I mean, I'm not comparing that to them, but in the sense of those saves, I think the vast majority of people that play Pokemon, they're nowhere near that. And I think that was something that I can put in a video and say, hey, this is pretty cool and I want to discuss them. They had a certain nicheness to them that was alluring to me. It was something that I also wanted to document, that I did have these saves. I did put this time into this. And maybe one day I could look back on that and be like, oh, look at where I was. Look at where I am now. I didn't start this channel just to talk about my Pokemon saves. I have a lot more of a desire to make more content than just looking over Pokemon saves. It's just a good fallback or a good start to a channel, in my opinion. I even have a Pokemon Y save that I want to go over next video, or excuse me, not next video, but a couple videos down the line. There's a lot of things I want to discuss about Pokemon. I just think it's a content-rich vein. and I felt like I had some things to say there. I also low-key don't even tell anybody else. This is just between us, Multipower. I would like to be recognized in some way by the Pokemon Company. I just think it's so cool that some creators get flown out or like something like that. I really love Pokemon, and you know, growing up with it, it'd be really cool to get recognized by the actual franchise that you look up to. So that's a deep dark secret of mine. Don't tell anybody about that. That is my own selfish desire. But otherwise than that, I just thought I had something to say, and I thought that some people might enjoy it. And I'm really thankful that we hit 1,000 subscribers. So it looks like we're doing something correct. Thank you so much for watching. Buckland, thank you for the milestone. Thank you, man. Thank you. What's, in your opinion, the greatest accomplishment you have in gaming, either Pokemon or any other game? Wow, that is a good question. I want to say my first video save, my Generation 4 Platinum save, the 11194 save. If the ID is even correct there, I might even have that wrong. Yeah, I would say that save is pretty much a heavy hitter. I mean, like I've not logged that much time into any other save, and that's a span of 5 years into it. I also have a purple service medal in a game called Counter-Strike, which took a lot of grinding in one specific year, and that's not something that a lot of people do. That's a big commitment. So maybe that as well. But otherwise, my accomplishments in gaming, I mean, I'm no speedrunner. I'm not here hitting some like insanely low odds, insanely low odds, like a Blissey, Safari Zone, or I haven't even hit my first Roamer. So it's really hard to say what my greatest accomplishment is in comparison, but this isn't in comparison. This is just my own greatest accomplishment. So I would say that medal in Counter-Strike 2 and my original Pokemon Platinum save file. Thank you for the question. Daki-san, 22. First of all, congratulations. Thank you so much. Do you also play other games besides Pokemon? Speaking of Counter-Strike, I do play some Counter-Strike. I've been playing since 2016. I don't know if anybody messes with those kind of games. Used to play a lot of Minecraft. That was like my bread and butter. But most of the time, it's just juggling Pokemon and Counter-Strike, really. I love Halo. Actually, recently, I've been on such a Halo tear. I've been really enjoying Halo Infinite as of late, and I intend to play through the entirety of the Master Chief Collection campaign relatively soon as well. So Infinite was that kicking off for Halo for me, and I'm just getting really back into Halo. So that's another game that I enjoy, or a franchise I enjoy. Ellie, thank you for the congrats. And your question is, if you were a gym leader, what type and what would your team be? Ah, man, that's so difficult. As a kid, I'd probably say like water type gym leader, but right now I kind of want to say fire. I don't know. That's such an interesting question in terms of what I would align myself typing wise. But my team, yeah, I'm going to go with 6 Rayquazas for the team. I think that's the play. I like Lapras. Lapras is getting on that team. I like myself. So I got to get an evolution in there. Let's just do Vaporeon. Let's go water team. We're going to do a water team. Back to my roots as a kid. As a kid, I loved water type Pokemon. Nowadays, I like the opposite, fire. But yeah, make a water team. Maybe a Poliwrath in there. There's a lot of Pokemon to choose that are water type. Definitely Lapras. Definitely maybe an evolution in there. Kabutops is pretty cool. Any new gen Pokemon though? Oh man, this is difficult. You're putting me on the spot here, Fawn. You know what I'm gonna do? Let's fill the rest of those slots with Rayquazas, and we'll go from there. Thank you for the congratulations. Cap, what's up, my man? Your name is confusing me a tiny bit, so I'm just gonna call you Cap. I hope that's okay. What do you usually do while shiny hunting to kill time? And how long was your longest hunt? So I usually just binge watch shows, or not specifically binge watch. I mean, in the past, yes, but there was a period of Parks and Recreation. There's definitely some anime there with heavy hitter. I would say best shonen anime, JJK. Come on now, let's be honest, season 2. That was something I've been watching. That will pop up in a video essay I will be dropping in the next couple months. I'm just giving myself a wide range. It won't take me that long to post. I'm just giving myself some wiggle room. So yeah, some anime, most definitely. Anime is a little bit more difficult, especially when it's a shiny that is very not distinct compared to its normal base colors. You don't want to be reading subtitles and then just miss something. I've yet to, in my 5 years plus of hunting, I've yet to ever like mess up a shiny. I've yet to reset over a shiny. I've yet to not catch a shiny. I mean, when you prep as hard as I do, you know, it's really, you have to play intentionally to fail. Always have a master ball. But my longest hunt has been 28,356. I single hunted that at the start of my journey of shiny hunting, and that was for a Rotom in Pokemon Platinum. To this day, that has never been topped. I believe the Rayquaza I recently got was like 27,000, 26,000, something like that. So super close to dethroning the Rotom, but not quite. You'll see some numbers online that are like really, really scary. 30,000, 40,000, 70,000 people. People go to these numbers and don't get anything. I mean, single hunted 28,000, it is still a lot, and it took me a long time. Yeah. But I watch everything under the sun, movies, anime, TV shows, whatever, what have you. Thank you for the question. I do have one Twitter question here, so I'm going to get to this real quick, and then we'll end the video on the last question we have in the YouTube post. Anthony, thank you for the question. What is it about playing on original hardware that you prefer over emulator? That is such a great question. I like having a tangible copy in my hands that has all that progress. I don't like all the gizmos and all the added controls and all the added features that come with emulators. I like opening a drawer, I like opening my case and having them all there. Just also the way the games were meant to be played, gravitate towards, I rather play them in their original format. I have the ability to do that. I also have the ability to enjoy them in the specific DS that I want. So I think that also impacts my decision to play that on the original hardware. OEM just sounds so much more appealing than just looking at a desktop monitor and playing Emerald that way. I'd rather be in bed with a Game Boy Advance SP on a physical copy of Pokemon Emerald, and while that's so much more expensive, that is the way I would play. That is not the way I would say other people should play or push my belief that you should only play on physical copies. But in my opinion, for me, it devalues the experience if I'm playing on an emulator. And I also wouldn't start a forever save if it was on an emulator save. It just, in my brain, it just doesn't really compute to me. So I guess it really just has to be that tangible factor, the way it was meant to be played factor, and the enjoyment factor I still really get from playing it the way it's meant to be played. Thank you for the question, Anthony. All right, guys, last question we have here from Blinky. Blinky, already you're my new favorite channel. Thank you. Thanks for the videos. Congrats on 1,000. Thank you so much. First, or actually it's two questions. First, what aspect of your games besides shiny hunting do you enjoy putting time into the most? I mean, Pokedex is pretty fun. I've done that multiple times though, so it's kind of lost its luster. I gotta say, being a loot goblin is really fun, Blinky. Just getting a wide range of PP ups, rare candies, the like. I mean, just having this save where it's just debauchery. Yeah, so I would say more so just item farming. I love that. Even like for when I don't want to shiny hunt sometimes, I would say, honestly, I'm going to say this right now. Most times I'm watching something, nowadays on and off, but definitely back in the day, even if I'm not shiny hunting, I'm still grinding for something in my Pokemon saves in my hands. Like it feels like wasted time not to just like turn on some YouTube and just turn off your brain for a couple minutes or an hour or two, and not just like be farming apricorn balls or not farm the shards in Harkles of Silver and in the Ruins of Alph. Like it just that's the kind of stuff that scratches my brain, and I know I'm furthering something that I need down the line in some kind of goal that I have. And I'll look back on my pickup farms, on my apricorn farms, my rare Pokeball farms, right? I'm looking back on these things, and these things have value and have given me something back that I really need. So I'm gonna say farming, being a loot goblin in Pokemon games. So that's my first. That's the answer to the first question. And your second question: would you consider making a video showing off your utility style mons and how you built them? Love the parts where you showed off Pokemon trained up for specific reasons, like prolonging battles, like your Sketch Me, or your Smeargle specifically for Shiny Arceus. The more niche, the better. Yeah, man, I got you. So this is relating also back to the initial comment by Isaac about how do you prep for these shiny hunts and all that. I do plan to make a video specifically targeting the more niche coverage things for utility in Pokemon Platinum or just in general Generation 4. So I 100% plan to do that. That sounds like a great idea. Thank you, Blinky. I appreciate the question. Yes, I will be doing that. Alrighty, guys. It has been a solid amount of time. I had a good time. Final thoughts before I just get back on the content train and just start making a bunch of videos. I do have one video essay that I'm massively working on right now. I'm hoping it comes out well. I have fragmented clips of a big hunt that I did that I want to turn into a video essay. So that is taking some time. I do have a lot more ideas to get going with this channel, and I don't want to just, I want to make this very clear. I don't want to just make looking back on old saves kind of content. I want to avoid that. I want to make new content that isn't solely nostalgia driven or just curiosity driven because I haven't touched the series in a while. I have a lot of ideas and I want to execute them, and I want to make a bunch of cool videos here. And I just want to thank you guys for joining me for this journey. If you have any questions, anything at all that I missed, you can leave them in the comment section for this video and I'll answer them promptly. Yeah, thank you so much once again. I'll see you guys in the next video. Whatever that will be, I will be working on it right after this video. All right? So, hope you're having a wonderful week. Hope you had a great day. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.